is a reality. In the last episode, the party decided to try and coax out the worms that they have to defeat to earn their reward. And
We
they
exterminated a bunch. Sorry.
They got rid of quite a few of them, and a few of the party decided to head down and see what a mysterious voice was, only to get thoroughly injured in the process.
It was a bad idea.
It was a good idea if the rest of the party hadn't chickened out.
So, with their task of exploring the depths done, the party made camp some distance away, and a few of them had dreams. But now it is daytime. You've all had breakfast. What would you like to do?
Let's go back to town.
Heading back to town?
Do we have time to head back to town? What if the thing in there decides to kill more people?
We need to know what we're dealing with first.
This one looks thoughtful, and she'll look over to Korak. She goes, well, technically, we kind of know what we're going after since Korax and Cicada saw what was in there exactly.
Oh, we didn't. Well, I'm afraid we had to pull up. Before we got out as far as seeing anything. But we do know.
You may not have seen it, but the scary part is you heard it.
Yes, that is true.
I don't remember. Did Ryu tell us his dream?
Yes.
Yeah, he did.
Jezebel is holding the book that he let her borrow before, having read it, and is like tapping it with her chin. And then she'll go over, she goes, about your dream, Ryu.
What about it?
You said you saw a door?
It was kind. It was more like a. It was more like a basement hatch. You know, like the opening, the thing that opens up in the floor, or to let you down on the stairs and whatnot.
The Wizard of Oz. Like the side of the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. The cellar door.
Yeah.
I admit, I did not want us to go down there on the off chance of course, being killed. But I'll admit that door has me very curious. I wonder if it's real.
Well, I'd rather not risk my life trying to find out just yet.
Yes, well, we may not. I guess one of my other concerns. Well, I'm interested in the door. But the other concern is perhaps we may not get paid for this since we didn't quite get rid of the whole problem.
That did occur to me.
That is true.
We still need, at the very least, we still need to let them know that there's something down there. There's something else down there too.
Ethel looks a little conflicted. She really wants to go check out that door, but she also does not want to die either.
and by the way, the invisibility didn't do a thing.
Then I guess we must prepare properly for something that can use telepathy and come back later.
Indeed.
As loath as I am to leave a mystery behind, I'll keep this in mind. She grins and then she goes over and she hands the book to Ryu to take back. Thank you for letting me borrow this, dear. I appreciate it.
And thank you for returning it.
Oh,
Gave
can I
me my
read that?
word.
Lucky you. You won't have to. I won't have to charge you an overdue fee.
Ha ha.
Lucky you, I didn't decide to switch for something else. And she gives a wink as she walks away.
I'm making sure to, or I'm verifying this book is mine on the way to town.
I heard that there's some good stories in that book. Can I read it?
Well, if nothing else, I can trust you better more with it than Jezebel. Yeah.
I
Did she
am
do
hurt.
something to it?
I am hurt, but fair.
So,
No, she didn't do anything to it, but I was expecting her to.
Oh, okay.
Jezebel just grins mischievously. It's all about not being found out. She wiggles her fingers.
so, you are all going to head back to town, yes?
Yeah.
Regretfully, this seems to be the course of action we are taking.
Alright.
Yes.
Well, everyone but Jezebel subtract 3 rations, and you make it. Damn it, that's not what I wanted to do. And you make it back to the town of Shati, which I still haven't updated yet. Sorry.
It's fine.
Don't worry.
So,
I mean, I've actually, if you want something a little bit more detailed, I've probably got a couple maps you could use.
no, it's fine. I just haven't had time to pretty it up yet. That's all. Oops. I'm sorry for that sound. Regardless, yeah, this will do. So, you make it back to the town with your red wagon and horses. What would you like to do?
So, and I hand Jezebel the purple worm poison. Do what you gotta do. Please, no skimming.
If what you say about this, and she wiggles it in her fingers, is valuable, as you say it is, then I'll make sure we both get a clean cut, since you did share this with me.
Yeah.
I am sneaky, but I am fair, she says with a grin, and then starts to casually walk away. You guys handle the guild, I'll be right back.
Alright. So, I will get to Jezebel in a moment. What are the rest of you doing?
I guess we're going to the guild.
Yeah.
Alright.
Korax, frankly, isn't expecting to get paid now, because, again, we didn't get all of them, but someone in authority needs to know that at least one of these worms is smart enough to talk.
So, you head up to the desk where the pink-haired elf is, and she looks over and she says, "Oh, you lived. Welcome back."
Yes, unfortunately, the worm. Well, we got quite a few of the worms, but well, there's a complication. One of them, at least one of them, was smart enough to talk and plan ambushes.
I see. She frowns for a moment in thought.
And apparently it can talk mentally?
Well, that is why the reward is 500 gold.
Wait, you knew about this?
We did give it a name and everything, yeah.
These are the kind of details you should really put in the quest description.
I will put your feedback in the feedback folder and your adventures, are you not?
That is correct.
Regardless, if you haven't slain the worm, I'm afraid you can't get the reward. But
That is what I
anything
figured.
anything you did get from the worms is yours. You're free to keep what you found.
Of course.
We did slay 10 worms.
Well, I guess that means we're just gonna have to. I guess that means we'll have to hope Jezebel pulls through with that poison.
And I'm sure that
and-
poison
and
will
we'll-
be will make up for any
We're go-
injuries you
we're
have
going-
taken.
We're going to need to go back and finish the job later.
Hmm.
What after we find out what we're dealing with?
So, with that done, I will leave you all and Jezebel.
Yo.
I'm assuming you're heading to the Rogues Guild?
Yep.
Alright, you head there. It's a hive of scum and villainy, as always. Just like home. What do you do?
I'm going to find somebody in the guild that can help me find a buyer for the poison.
Alright. You do eventually get in contact with someone who does know your family and is willing to help you find a buyer for a split of the profits.
How much?
50-50?
After you tell me how much it's actually worth, thank you.
He swings the bottle around and he says, well, full price is around $2,000, but depending on how long you're willing to wait, we might get offers of lower prices. But I highly doubt we'll get exactly that amount, as there is not that much, and depending on the age of the worm, the potency might not be as strong.
Can you at least guarantee you can get $2,000 for it?
I cannot guarantee anything. All I can guarantee is that you will get half the profit, and I will get the other half.
Your
Rogue's
best
honor.
offer.
Rogue's honor. I will ensure, and you can trust me. Well,
Honor among thieves.
you can't trust me, but you can trust that you can't trust me.
I mean,
Right out of my mouth. She gives a big old grin.
He gives you the secret rogue handshake thing.
Hey.
You're free
She
to
just sighs and
go on.
she just sighs and says, "Very well, I agree. Just be as quick as you can, please."
Of course. I will get back to you, and no need to come and find me. I'll find you. And with that, he takes the poison. He gives you like some insurance to show that he's actually going to that, you know, he gives you a bit of money to show that he is going to sell it, but you're expected to give it back, if you know what I mean.
No, it has to be an item.
Oh, okay. He gives you a diamond then.
All right, that works. I get a pretty diamond for a little bit. Thank you very much.
Now remember, you're giving that back when I deliver the profits.
Exactly. When you deliver. She says that she flings the diamond up, snatches it, puts it in her robe, and then walks off.
Alright, he heads out as well. And now I will get back to the others. So, Clara, You find a small little library at the Adventurers Guild filled with monsters and beasts. And you find absolutely no mention of a worm that can use telepathy.
She is so confused.
As for
She looks through for other things that could use telepathy.
you find a few things, but nothing that really stands out. As for Cicada, you take the gems to the jeweler and looks them over and he says, well, they're not cut. I could say about 10 gold for that one, and maybe another 10 for that, and 5 gold for that one. That sound fair?
I only got 2 of them, so.
So just 20 gold then.
Okay.
He takes the gems and hands you 20 gold.
Thank you very much.
Do you all reconvene at the guild?
Yeah.
Alright.
Clara leaves the library. She's like, there's nothing in there about psychic worms. There's a bunch of other psychic things, but I don't know if they're related.
It could be some sort of mind flayer thing.
We have a mystery on our hands, Jezebel said as she overhears and she's walking over to the group.
Tell me you found a buyer.
Please, Korax, have some faith in me.
I'm going to pass out 4 gold to everybody.
Whee!
I give her a big hug.
There.
And a kiss on the cheek.
Oh.
I will make sure to pay you back, dear, I promise.
Okay.
And don't worry about the poison, Korak. She said that she's still hugging Cicada, and then she'll reach into her cape and then bring the diamond out. She goes, I got some insurance to make sure that we get a decent buyer.
Right.
He just grins, shrugging, and then puts the diamond back away. And then she looks over to Cora. So what's this about no psychic worms?
I didn't see anything in the library that mentioned psychic worms. So we don't know if it's actually a worm that's talking telepathically.
Do you maybe want to perhaps tell the guild leaders here that apparently there's something mysterious in this so-called cave?
Apparently they already know.
And they did not care to share the information with us. Not too sure I want to do business here anymore.
They did say that's why it was so much, though I don't know why they wouldn't have told us.
Technically, this is your home, is it not, dear?
That's why I don't understand. She looks a little frustrated about this.
I can think of one thing, though it's a bit on the extreme side.
You're welcome to share.
What if she intended for us to die there? That would She seemed awfully surprised to see us come back alive, didn't she?
Well, she did say quite a few people died from this task.
Is she still here? Out of character.
You guys are outside the guild. She's still inside doing her nails.
All right, I'm gonna go.
Or she just didn't care.
No, well, yeah, but I'm gonna go in on the pretense of just grabbing another thing from the quest board, and I'm just gonna casually activate my divine sense.
Alright, surprisingly, you actually see a few people glow with a divine sense of justice. A few people, like seep a dark energy, and then there's the people who are just neither. An adventuring guild is gonna have people who are good, bad, somewhere in between. The lady,
It's like half. Sorry.
after all, everyone becomes an adventurer for their own reasons. The lady
And
behind
the-
the desk? Neither. She is simply doing her nails with a bored expression.
I mean, you have the right idea, dear, but you gotta remember, she's probably more of a receptionist. She just posts up the request boards, doesn't exactly do them.
She still. You
It
saw.
was worth. I know, but it was worth a try. In the meantime, and I pull down the murder on the Owl Express thing. If we want to do some actual snooping, I feel like this could be the perfect excuse.
You hear a voice quietly talk and interrupt your conversation. That may be the case, or you can sell your poison. And
What?
Jezebel, you see your rogue contact, Burton.
She throws her hands up in the air, looking excited, or goes over to try to give him a hug. So
No
he smothers
physical
him in her
contact.
chest.
You tried that, but he dodges out of the way. He is a rogue.
Oh, always playing hard to get. I'm gonna hug you someday, you know.
We'll see. So,
Anyway, you have my poison.
I do indeed have a buyer. However, the buyer requires you to do the delivery to its intended location.
She puts her hands on her head. She goes, "You know I'm not a delivery girl, right?"
I have
They
a bad
have-
feeling about this.
They have agreed to do the full price if you do this.
Really? How generous. She looks skeptical. And where exactly am I delivering?
Of course, I will be coming along to oversee the duties, but while I won't be fighting, I will be liaising with your contact and assuring them that you can do this task.
I have a
Are
bad
you-
feeling
are you-
about this.
Are you questioning my abilities?
No, but it may take some time to deliver the goods to their intended target after all.
And where am I delivering this to get the full price?
Oh, just a little family in Lundrup.
That's a very long way away.
Yes, which is why they're willing to pay full price. If you wish, I can continue and look about elsewhere, see if I can find a buyer, but you're unlikely to get this sort of deal.
Can I get the price for
You-
such a long trip?
You will all get 1,000 gold if you complete it, because he's taking half.
It's 2,000 gold. Okay.
And
Unfortunately, that's probably the.
Go on.
Unfortunately, that's probably the best price we can get. I trust Bertrand, but the thing is, it is a bit of a long walk. So, I mean,
A lot.
technically, this is your poison, Corax. So, you also have a say in this.
And that to To Lundruck by horse and car, that would be almost 6 months' journey.
Is 6 months worth 1,000 gold?
No.
Didn't think so.
But I was hoping you could find a buyer in this city.
Very well. I shall look around and see about finding a buyer in a closer area. Still, do keep in mind that offer is available if you decide to change your mind. Your friend Jezebel knows how to find me. And he gives a bow and heads off on his way.
Cicada waves.
Like,
Thank you, dear.
Korak's like, Korak's like just gets like one of those like really low-key face palms where you sort of like pinches the nose. God, I miss the Dominion. You could find a buyer for poison anywhere there.
I do realize what city we're in, dear. They're not exactly the killing type around here.
That's a check at least.
It's more than I can say. That's more than I can say. A, for how people are in the northern half of the wildlands.
We're spending the day in different kinds of rogue guilds, dear. You have no idea.
You cut out real bad at the beginning there.
It's more you were very faint.
That better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's acting up. She basically said, try spending a couple days in a rogues guild, dear. And then try talking.
So, do you guys go to take on another task, or are you going to wait around a bit and see if you get a buyer?
I mean, as I said, like we want to snoop around a bit to see if we can figure out what's if the guild might be compromised because like they sent us into danger without crucial information, right?
I was more thinking who were looking for who originally put up that job request.
You're also looking at the murder on the Owl Express quest there.
So you want to go in and ask who put the request up?
I do anyway.
Yeah, like I was mainly looking at murder on the Owl Express as an excuse to like go snooping around.
All right. So you inquire to the pink-haired lady, and she gives a sigh, heads around, trumps over to a file cabinet, begins to go through it with this exhausted and annoyed expression as she huffily moves through paperwork after paperwork. Finds it, she slaps it on the table, begins to look through it, and then she closes it.
This must be so torturous for you, dear. I am so sorry.
She just gives a glower as she slams it back into the cabinet and closes it and then says, "Why do you want to know?"
We did almost die due to lack of information, dear.
It would have been nice to know that there was a telepathic worm or something over there.
You're lucky you have an official member with you, and she gives a glower to Clora at that. Otherwise, you wouldn't be getting this information. Only official members can ask who. And she looks through, she rubs her head and then says, "Some elf. Silver hair. They said their name was, the gentleman or something. Whatever
Oh
that
god.
means.
What manner of elf?
Silver hair. Silver eyes."
Jezebel immediately slams her hands on the desk, looking actually really surprised. And then she leans in close, looking actually serious. She goes, "Do you know where they're at?"
You know, much as I would love to ask, that's probably a bit of abuse. We're going to have to go look for them ourselves.
I'm afraid the location of where our clients are is confidential. It's for their safety. As we've had quite a few adventurers come back from harrowing missions and they try to murder the person who put the quest up.
Jezebel, anybody who's going around with an alias as obvious as the Gentleman is likely isn't going to be the kind of person you can find just by asking.
Oh, you'd be surprised, dear. Jezebel says that she actually looks quite serious, and then she'll immediately turn around and head out. I have to look at something. I'll be back.
Okay.
I will also be back. I'm going to inform my parents of insufficient information.
Your parents give a sigh and then say, I know, honey, but she's still learning. Just bear with her. I know she's got that elven temper, but we really do want to try and get her. We will reprimand her, of course.
For reference,
if Korax hears this, he will mutter, "She will see a true elven temper if this thing happens again."
Rest assured, we will inform her to make sure that she gives all the details in the future. All right?
thank you.
Cicada and Ryu, what are you guys doing?
I guess we could get started with some investigating over at Murder on the Owl Express.
Sure.
If Ryu wants.
So you two are heading over to the Owlery?
I assume this is while I'm reporting to parents.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have you gotta try the suit first. It's out of this world.
Probably literally.
So do you mean you lost it then?
Yeah, it sort of floated into space. But
then how am I supposed to be able to try it?
we managed to get a little bit in a bottle before it floated away.
She just face palms.
So, Jezebel, what are you doing?
I'm gonna try to find and contact Burton real quick.
Alright. You're able to contact Burton, though he seems a little distracted as he's currently conversing with multiple sending stones.
So many phone calls.
I'm gonna try to sneak up on him and try to hug him again.
Probably not gonna work.
You're wide open.
Roll stealth.
Oh.
I will say it will have to be a bloody 20 or something.
No, but I'm just doing it just for fun.
Oh my god. Fine. So,
The moment you said it.
Yay! You fix yourself.
yeah, I brought it on for myself. So,
Sure did.
as Burton is making phone calls, you sneak up and bring him into a hug. For a moment, he goes to break out and he pulls a knife ready to attack, and then he sees it's you and he's like, I really wish you wouldn't do that.
Burton, I finally got you. She says as she swings him around, hugging him tight.
Yes, you finally got me. Now, could you please let me down? I do know how to use this. I do know how to use this knife,
3 more seconds, 2, 1. Okay, she lets you go. All right, let him go.
Roll me a dex save.
Oh.
He trips you and you fall to your butt as he stands above you with a smirk and he says, you need to be a bit quicker on your uptake.
You're salty because I finally hugged you. She says that she just grins up at him and then stands back up.
Well, anyway, what do you want? I'm currently looking for a bar. No, not. No, that's not. It's not serpent venom. It's purple worm poison. Yes, I know. Okay, thanks.
So sorry, my
I'm
dear
busy.
Martin. I know you're quite busy, but I do have one slight request for you as well.
Yes.
A personal one. Apparently, somebody with silver hair, like pure silver hair, she gives him a look, has been around here and put in a job description. Would you do me a favor and see exactly where they came from?
Elf with silver hair. Yeah.
Since I'm taking half of the purple worm poison, I'll do it on credit for you. No charge.
See, this is why I love you. She tries to hug him again,
He vanishes.
but then she stops. Then she stops and just like, gotcha.
He's already gone.
Anyway, she looks satisfied with a smirk, but then also looks a little worried for a second, and turns around and walks back to go back find the others.
Alright. So, I'm assuming the rest of you are going to also head to the owlery?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. You head there and inquire about the job, and you're eventually escorted to a male elf. As you're escorted, you see many large platforms that they almost look sort of like small runways in a way that lead to a drop and then open air. And as you're watching, you actually see a large owl cat run along the runway, jump off, and then slowly glide up into the air. You can actually see like a little laneway where people are purchasing tickets to get on the next ride, and you can see the price is, I believe it's about, there's a few different prices depending on where you're going, but they go to most of the major cities. And from what you can see on the board, this is the only owlery in the northern part of Norheim.
And Cicada is immediately distracted by the flying owl cats.
So, you make your way over to the head, and he's a rather tall and unamused elf with a mop of brown hair and some rimmed glasses on the bridge of his nose.
Hello.
Yes. Can I help you?
My name is Cicada. We are here to inquire about the murders.
I see. Well, every night, while most of the people have been asleep, we've had people coming and killing guards. Now, the guards are important because while the owl cats aren't ones to be taken easily, we do occasionally get an eagle dog or two that are more susceptible to being, well, kidnapped.
So he starts writing this down.
So it's important that we keep our security tight to ensure that if we do ever have eagle dogs arriving from other cities, that we have them covered. With our service being as expensive as it is, it's important that we ensure, well, they don't go missing.
Okay. Who are you?
Yes, right. I am Aurora.
Okay.
O-R-O-R.
Okay. What do you do here?
I am the one that oversees the schedules and ensures that we don't have any owls crashing into each other when they're trying to land.
Okay. I'm trying to come up with questions, but mimicry is hard.
By this point, everyone else has caught up to you, and they see you struggling to ask this tall, unimpressed elf questions.
Jezebel
It's
says
like-
running past for you.
She's like trying to have an interview with this guy, but he's just finding it hard to find the words.
My goodness, they're so cute. Do you train these Owlcats yourself?
No, not me personally, but my father did. You see, our cats are some of the only pets that elves can really have, as they live quite a bit longer than most life and almost as long as us.
Who takes care of these cuties, though?
I do, as I have taken over for my father, who is currently overseeing operations in another area. You see,
By yourself?
No, we have stable hands to make sure they're fed and brushed and all that. But I am the one that they will listen to no matter what. You see, our cats tend to have a bit of a temperament. And it's important to have someone that they will listen to when they start to get a little irritable.
Indeed. I remember hunting one of these a long time ago. She says absentmindedly without even thinking.
Clara asks Cicada real quickly. Is this the person who posted the quest for this?
Yes, I am the one that posted the quest. We've had a few of our guards die while on guard duty, and, well, people aren't exactly cheap to replace.
What manner of injuries did they have?
I think it was just stab wounds, mostly. From what I could tell, they were taken out in a single attack before they could make a noise.
There was no. Yeah, did you find? Was there any poison on their bodies? Like, did you figure out what kind of blade it was? What? Give me details here.
We do actually have some of the blades that I can show you. Right this way. And go on.
You mean to tell us that this person is actually leaving their weapons behind?
Well, I mean, sometimes they get stuck in the body.
Murder weapons.
We actually
they're doing a horrible job at their job.
We actually had one of them, like, lodged right between between the rib cages, and it was a real took a lot to get it out of the body.
I don't know whether to call us lucky or call this guy sloppy.
Indeed. Well, this blade.
Or
Be able to
like,
recognize it.
oh, I look at the blades. Like, do they look unusual at all? Like any kind of symbol on them or what? Anything?
They look to be just simple, regular daggers, though, you do notice that there is a faint, what's the rust orange on the actual blade, where it seems to have, like, rusted and corroded a bit.
And I'd say maybe they were trying to leave a message, but there's nothing special about the daggers except they're a bit rusty.
Are they old?
No, they don't look old. At least from what you can tell of the handle, though the blades are clearly rusted.
Okay, I'm. Oh, I don't have detect magic. Cicada.
I do.
Yeah, like Cicada. Could you see if there's anything special about these?
Okay. I use detect magic.
You can tell that there doesn't appear to be anything magical, but as you touch it, you see that it breaks away, like what was on the edge of the blade has caused it to rust and decompose. And in fact, Aurora actually speaks up and he says, the bodies are a bit like that too. Where the wound was is like this hole of, well, you don't want to see it, but it's rotted away. Like the body was left out for several weeks.
Killed recently?
The most recent ones, yes. They tend to, like, decompose completely after about a week. We bury them before that, anyway.
Mm-mm. Well, maybe they were left. I've got gloves on right now. Is dusting for fingerprints a thing in this world?
You can roll
We
an
wouldn't have anything to
intelligence.
compare it.
You can roll an intelligence check.
We don't have anything to compare it to, though.
Afraid not.
Yeah, it's not a thing I've ever heard of.
What one exactly did you find these bodies?
Where they were guarding. The people coming to take their shift found them where they. We've been losing about one a day, and it's always in the same, around about the same spot.
Could you take us over there?
He nods, and he brings you over to an unassuming part of the owlery, right about here.
Anything special about that spot exactly?
No, there's just a simple guard tower and a little bit of a path where they likely patrol. The gate nearby.
This is for somebody to hide and kill someone, that's for sure.
God, only I had the Speak with Dead invocation equipped.
A couple of bushes, you know. Just a simple grassy clearing.
Well, I still have detect magic on. So, is there anything of note?
Not that you can say, except that, well, roll perception.
Okay. Perception.
Yeah. Nothing you can really see.
Well, I'm going to be looking
Okay.
around a little bit.
Yeah, I'm still expecting the murder weapon.
I mean, we saw the murder weapon. They were
Okay,
daggers.
but do I know of any poisons that can cause the metal to rust like that?
They said there wasn't any poison. At least I thought they said.
They actually never answered that.
Oh.
So, I'm trying to
Roar.
just,
Sorry. Well, Aurora did say that the bodies quickly rot for a week after death, so...
I'm just
Well,
reading.
I may have an idea. Sorry?
I'm just quickly reading over the poisons now to try and find one that give us an example.
I mean, you could always make one up.
No, it is made
Yeah.
up. It is made up, but I want to give an example because Korax would know the kind of poison.
Yeah. Like, because like this is an angle we can work with.
So, while you aren't too familiar with the poison, it does behave very similar to wyvern poison, mixed with a little bit of pale tincture. You think it's not so much a single poison, so much as it might be a mixture of two different poisons.
Okay, so yeah, mainly wyvern and venom though. So, hey Jezebel.
Yes.
That expert of yours, do you think he'd also know who recently bought certain poisons?
Either him, or I can probably talk to somebody from the guild.
Well, I think this one's mainly wyvern venom.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah, it causes metal to rust like nothing else. That's why you want to put it on your arrows instead. You won't need to reuse it.
Well, since you told me, I could try to ask him. Even though he is quite busy, though, that's for sure, trying to help with our first request. But if you give me a little bit, and you do a little more investigating, I can go to the guild and see maybe if they'll give me some information.
Alright. So, you head to the guilds and you get in contact with Burton, and he actually comes to you with a smile and he says, I have very good news. I have found 2 buyers.
It's better than one.
The first buyer is right in this city and will give 500 gold. That's 250 each for each of us for it. Another buyer is a little out of the way in, do you know the city up north? Oh, what's its name? Eternia? I think, yeah, Eternia. You know of Eternia, right?
Only a name.
Well, we have a second buyer that's in Eternia and is willing to do it for 1,000, which would be 500 for each of us.
She thinks for a second, but then she suddenly smirks and she goes, so somebody here wants to buy the poison, do they?
Yes.
Would you mind putting them on hold for a minute? Because you might have just given me the information that I was looking for.
Oh? You have been looking for information? Well, I am
Indeed.
an information broker.
Exactly. And we're actually trying to find somebody who might have purchased some poison recently here in the city.
Is this for that owl mission on the adventurers
So
task board?
You do know of it. She gives him a big old innocent grin. She goes, would you mind telling me, please?
I'll tell you what. Give me 100 of the gold and I'll tell you everything you need to know.
You have a hard bargain, Gertrude. How about if I don't ever hug you again, you tell me for free?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
How about I never hug you again and you give it to me for free? Deal?
I'm afraid no deal, because I know you wouldn't be able to keep that promise. 100 gold.
You know me so well. Fine, 100 gold.
I do indeed know who has been buying poisons. He's been buying everything he can get his hands on. It is a female elf named Eris.
Really? She gives her eyes kind of narrow for a second and then she grins. What would I do without you?
They are the ex-wife of the man who owns the Ellery. Not the son currently there, but the man who is currently away. And they're using this chance to try and weaken them so they can then take the business right from under them.
They told you all this?
No, I'm just very good at my job. This is their address. I expect payment promptly.
All right then. More than likely, we might actually go to another buyer. But I will let my comrades know. And do know, I do so appreciate your help. You're such a good person.
Do let me know if you want them to pay before you go and apprehend them.
Oh, don't worry, I will indeed.
As
After
long
all,
as
we both want to get paid.
As long as I'm not the ones doing it and I'm only profiting, I can remain in good graces with most of the people in this town. And he
Of
heads on his
course.
way.
Thank you, love you, she says to wherever direction he went to, not even caring, and then she casually strolls back to everybody else.
Meanwhile, kind of wondering about those missing eagle dogs.
They're not missing. He was saying that because eagle dogs are so friendly, they could very easily be stolen, and he wants to avoid that happening.
Ah.
If you remember from
Eagle-
Followers of Mayhem, eagle dogs are very rare because they're very easy to steal.
Ah. Got it. So they're not kidnapped, but they have the potential to be kidnapped.
Well, lightly skips back to the group. She goes, I got information.
Oh,
Yeah.
what'd you get?
I got a name and the person who actually is doing these killings.
You got all that?
Of course. You doubt my source of information?
And what's the name?
First, we have a decision to make, she says, holding up a finger. Technically speaking, the person who is doing these killings is also the buyer of your poison, dear Corax.
No.
I figured you'd say that, but that's why I would at least tell everybody. The person who is doing the killings wants the poison for about 500. Which, of course, unfortunately, I'll have to split with my broker, so to speak.
Well,
But
we're
we
not
also have another.
We're not selling to someone who's about to get caught.
Which is what I thought you would say, which is the good news I have. We have another buyer. Unfortunately, they are all the way in. I'm sorry, what's the name again?
Eternia.
They are in
Eternia.
Eternius. Eternia?
Eternia.
They are all the way in Eternia. They will pay more, of course, but that means we'll have to take a bit of a trip. It won't be as far as Thumdruck, but it still will be a bit of a walk. So I take it that we're going to do the other buyer then.
I think so. So what's the name of our little murderer?
Paris. She says
Okay,
with a
when
big
you
old
say
grin.
that, Porax's head immediately just jerks around and he looks right at the Temple of the Sun.
What?
Probably a different one. Okay, yeah, no, probably not the goddess.
I certainly hope not, because technically, what a goddess just needs so much poison. Apparently, she's been purchasing every poison she can get from the guild in order to get back at the owner's father.
What do you do?
Can't say for sure, just the fact that they're apparently an ex. So,
Okay, yeah, it's definitely her.
Motive.
exactly.
We're
Hell
dealing with
then-
hath no fury.
So we're just dealing with a jaded ex. I was expecting more.
Well, the fact that she was able to do this quite a few times and not get caught does say
Well,
she might actually have some skills. So I
I have a
mean,
suggestion.
give her some credit.
Why don't we pretend to sell it to her and catch her in the act?
I don't want to say sell, dear, as more as maybe.
Pretend. As in we catch her when
That
she
wouldn't-
comes to buy or something.
That would mean having to expose Bertrand, and I'm afraid I don't really would like to do that and put him at risk. Because he is the one that will be selling it to her. Technically, I guess I could. But the thing is, she's just buying poison. Everybody tends to buy poison for specific reasons. So,
That's true.
So, I mean, going off your idea, dear, which is a good one, how about we catch her in a different act?
Right.
Remember, Cicada has mimicry.
She thinks for us. It's like, I do have that one thing I learned a couple of days ago. I
What
can
might
be
that be?
invisible for an hour. If I don't move.
Oh, I was about to say, then why didn't you come down into the tunnel with us? And then,
That's
actually, I
That
might
would-
have a better. I could actually do you one better, and I'm gonna cast Disguise Self.
Let's-
I look like, and suddenly I look like one of the Owlry guards.
All right.
See,
Oh.
you read my mind, dear Korak, she says with a big old grin. One of us acts as the guards that he just hired, goes off, guards the night like usual, and catches her in the act.
Stakeout.
Yep. Exactly. I guess that would make me the bait.
Do you
And what works even better. Sorry?
go on? I'll ask after.
And works even better. She'll give a big grin and she'll take one of her fake bottles with liquid inside. She goes, I give this to Bertrand and have him convince her that this is actually real poison.
Then he doesn't have to take any poison to it. That's great.
It's an idea, but of course, we are doing this as a group, so if everybody is in agreement, and as long as your Clark doesn't mind putting himself at risk, because even though the poison may not be real, more than likely she will have a deadly weapon.
I can
So
stay
will I.
close for an hour if we can get a good guess of when they might be coming.
So, Jezebel, did you look at the address that was given?
That's right, there's an address on it, I forgot.
Did you look at the
We
address?
could also-
Or did you not?
I thought I did, but okay. Could look at the name of the address that he gave me.
I was asking
I guess I
'cause
should have said.
wasn't sure because I said I gave it
I-
to you, but yeah. Anyway,
I kind of assumed, but then yeah, I'm sorry, I should have said. My bad.
you notice the address is I'll mark it on the map for you guys. This is the address.
Oh.
Okay, what?
I've marked it with a red circle for you.
Oh dear.
Oof.
Oh. Okay. That son is and like the son of the owner and the ex-wife. Is he anywhere in the immediate area at this point?
No, the father is out of town on business, and only the son is there at the moment.
Yeah, he was who I was asking about.
He's around, but again, he's only the son.
That's what I want. I'm gonna use Divine Sense again.
All right. He glows faintly with divine energy.
Oh, God.
Get a chair.
There's something celestial about him.
Is there now? Jezebel looks very interested.
Never arrested a god before.
They might not even be a god, they could be an ASMR. That's out of character, sorry.
Come again, dear?
And 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 he, and he's and I and you know how I can sense otherworldly beings, right?
I get that idea, yes.
Speaking of,
He just turned up celestial.
Speaking of, you also get a faint glimmer of divine energy from Ryu as well. Though he is a paladin. I just
Cleric.
mentioning
Cleric.
it while I think of it.
Cleric.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, but I know the source of that.
Cleric.
And also because he is a kitsune.
That's actually not quite how my divine sense works. I can specifically sense celestials, fiends, and undead.
Regardless, I just wanted to mention it because, yeah, I hadn't mentioned it.
Yeah.
Continue.
And our supposed murderer is from the temple. Do you think she's trying to kill him?
I could spread rumors over there that a very weak guard will be at the stand tonight.
I seemed as good. It might. By the way, the moment that this comes up, Korax is actually gonna hustle everyone into a building out of the sight of the sun.
Alright. You head into the Adventurers Guild then, yes? Or to an inn?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like just it doesn't matter where, just like somewhere the sun can't see us right now.
You find a room and you close all the windows and the blinds, leaving you in dim light.
Is there a reason you brought us inside?
Because if it is the thing we're thinking of, then we don't want the sun to see us making our plans.
It's okay to tilt your head with confusion.
Eris is the name of the goddess of the sun.
Oh.
We're taking on a goddess? Ooh, how fancy.
Sounds
Yes,
It
and
sounds like a
possibly
de-
suicidal.
exactly.
So you believe that this is actually the goddess herself that's doing these killings?
Well, their sun registered as a celestial of some kind, and the name is a match. And
Again, very faint. Just, they're not. It's not a. It was very faint, like a couple of generations, so to speak.
Well, the name is a match, and the address you gave us is the Temple of the Sun in this city.
Well then, so what's the plan? You still want to take her on?
And there's a chance that we might be misunderstanding that. I think we should find out what is actually going on.
So then stick with the plan of catching in the act? Or would you rather just go right into the temple?
Call that plan B. We don't want to tip our hand too much.
Well, if we do end up catching in the act, so to speak, our cards are already out. More than likely, she'll either kill us, make the temple go against us and chase us out of the city.
Fair enough. We'll check out the temple first.
Remember to keep track of the days, Cicada.
Okay.
Just reminding you.
Yeah.
Alright, I guess we're going to the temple?
Should I leave any rumors as we are exploring the temple?
I would say not yet.
Okay.
It's already been one day, so
I don't know what's going on.
So we head to the Temple of the Sun.
I guess
Not all of us, I think. Maybe
I'll go. I guess.
perhaps the cleric and the paladin. We're the ones. We're the ones who would have reason to be on temple business.
True. And of course, they probably may not be happy to have a tiefling in there.
I mean, Ares usually he doesn't make a big deal about that sort of thing. I don't know.
Maybe we should book by its cover, because apparently she's killing people. Just saying.
May
That
I go?
is true. I think. Again, I think it should just be me and Ryu. We don't want to tip our hand and completely.
Okay. Come back safely.
Out of character, does Ryu know what kind of terms Alex is with this heiress?
You've never heard of her.
And I'm guessing, yeah, Korak's Axis education is probably quite a bit more extensive than yours.
So,
We'll be waiting for you.
okay. So you head out of the city, both Korax and Ryu. The rest of you hanging around in the small little building, waiting for them to return. You pass through the streets and you see followers wearing familiar cloaks. Not too familiar, but they're rather ornate cloaks with a sun on the back of the cloaks, on the headpiece of the cloak. And they've got the hoods up. You can see them going around the temple, lighting things. See a couple of them in the streets, lighting and clearing up pyres and small little shrines to the temple.
Ryu just kind of whispers to Korax, for followers of the sun, they look kind of shady with those hoods over their faces.
Yes, and indeed. And once we get inside, I'm gonna pop another divine sense.
So, you have to cover your nose. The entire place reeks.
Of incense, I assume.
It's more a noxious odor.
This is the divine sense what you're talking about, right?
Yeah. The presence of strong evil registers on your senses like a noxious odor.
Okay, so minor illusion whisper in Ryu's ear. This place has been heavily desecrated.
You don't say.
No, you don't sense this. I sense this because I popped a divine scent,
But Ryu's kind of in that no shit Sherlock mindset right now.
The temple, for what it's worth, seems to be pristine, and you can actually see a few of the citizens quietly praying at the stands.
Yeah.
A few statues of the goddess Eris too.
I don't know how these people will react to seeing a gold scale clergyman.
Well, and probably the same as a Platinum Dragon Paladin. And I mean, and well, and many of the newer gods have some sort of relationship with each other. Eris is kind of the exception. She's one of the twins, but that's the only relationship she had, as that I know of.
Twin.
And she's one of the she is one of the twin goddesses of nature.
You've not really known her to be known as the sun, though.
Yeah.
And in fact, the god on display is not Eris. You do not recognize the figure.
What does it look like?
A tall and imposing elf, with a long flowing robe carved with many suns. It's not a centaur.
Yeah,
Would either Ryu or Korax know that the twin goddesses of nature are supposed to be centaurs?
Korax actually wouldn't. He wouldn't, because in the Belthil Dominion, as well as the Dragon Kingdom, like all the gods are just depicted as dragons.
I would say roll religion, but
Yeah,
let's see what you roll.
like Korax doesn't know how other cultures would portray her.
I just had to mention it because I realized you guys might have thought they were a centaur. Yeah, something about the statue just doesn't seem right. From what you remember.
Say, Korax, doesn't something seem a little off to you about that statue?
I mean, it's not a dragon, so that's fairly unusual from my experience. But well, other cultures.
Maybe it's just the overabundance of sun symbolism all over it. Like they're insisting that they're a sun god.
And you said it's a male elf.
No, this is a female elf.
Okay, good.
The
'cause I
male
thinking,
was the Allery.
No, because I thought you said it was a statue of a male elf.
Yeah, nah,
Elf
it's
and,
a female.
Yeah, okay, because that would have been a dead giveaway to Korax. But that is a little bit strange.
You see a few people with more ornate robes than the others, quietly beginning to usher everyone towards a room where they appear to be saying something along the lines of ceremony. Come in.
Is my
come
divine
in.
sense is my divine sense still on?
Sure. Come in.
What-
in. It's time for the
Do they-
ceremony.
Do the people in the ornate robes seem off at all?
It's hard to tell because the entire air is thick with that smell.
What would you like? And want to take the plunge?
If nothing else, we're the closest to the doors.
Right. Well, we will allow ourselves to be ushered in.
You're brought into the room. And... okay. As you all take your seats, you both pick a spot at the far back. You see the higher ranking clergyman begin to lead everyone in a small prayer as a beautiful elven figure begins to slowly walk onto the stage and spread two large wings behind her. Only the wings aren't...
Korax knows Celestial. So, whatever. So...
Can I finish?
So, what... okay.
Only the wings aren't feathered. They're more bat-like.
Oh, already a fantastic sign.
And they're frayed and torn, as if something has torn and clawed out everything that was attached to them. She speaks with a beautiful voice and leads them in their prayer. All of them watching with reverent fervor.
What does the prayer actually consist of? Is it in common?
It is. O blessed be to the one of the sun. May her radiance shine down on us as she banishes the black sun.
Oh, cool. Doomsday cults.
You may want to leave.
No, I want to see where this is going.
Plus, if we leave now, they'll be on alert.
Yeah.
The ceremony continues with the prayer and the echoes, though you do notice her glancing towards you occasionally, as if able to pick you out of the crowd.
Well, we are very distinctive because we're wearing the livery of two other gods.
Regardless,
You're also
Actually,
probably new
correct.
faces.
Or actually, Korax isn't really in his livery, is he?
regardless, the ceremony ends and people begin to clear out. Her eyes now locked and focused on both of you. And she gives a smile. A warm,
I smile back.
angelic smile.
I smile back. I give her my most winning smile in return.
She begins
And
to beckon you forward.
Oh dear.
I just sort of with one hand at my back, I minor illusion another whisper in Ryu's ear. Be prepared to run.
I will need you to roll sleight of hand for that. Because you still have to make the movements.
Yeah, I don't suppose there's anything I could hide my hand behind.
Not really. Just give me the roll.
I mean, I'm theoretically decent at this, so... Alright. Natural 20.
Hey!
That'll do it.
I guess Korax works well under pressure.
You didn't...
Yeah, infiltration is something I kind of built him for, kind of by accident.
Regardless, you make your way, I'm assuming, up towards where she is. And she leans on a little podium as she looks down at you with that beautiful, almost sinfully beautiful smile.
Oh no.
Well, hello.
Hey,
Welcome to my temple.
beautiful place.
Hello, hi,
Hey, it's quite the quite the compelling sermon you gave there.
I am the one keeping the sun. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, of course. Oh,
Perhaps
tell
you
me,
need a
Eris, will
show
you?
of power to help
Oh.
prove my worth.
Eh,
Would it help
eh,
if I made the sun disappear? I can
That won't be
sense.
necessary. That won't be necessary. But tell me, Eris, will your sister be joining us?
I do not have a sister.
Hmm.
I will tell you this, though. I do quite enjoy the strength I can sense radiating from you both. Won't you join my cause?
What cause might that be?
Oh, the cause of bringing the sun and keeping the radiance. All you need to do is say you worship me. If you need a show of power, I can let my power on the sun weaken and allow the black sun to appear.
Well, ridding ourselves of the Black Sun is a worthy cause.
So you know something about what's causing the Black Sun?
Oh yes. And if you join my cause, I will tell you. But I'll leave it in your hands. You are free to go.
Hard pass.
Oh, you make an interesting you drive an interesting bargain.
I have all the time in the world. Do you? And with that, she stands and begins to head for one of the doors leading out of the room.
As she's got her back turned, I give one last big old divine sense. Fiend or celestial?
Celestial.
What? Oh no. Think she might be one of those fallen angels.
You are left to your own devices in the room, the crowd having cleared out. What do you
We
do?
should get back. We should get back to the others.
Yes.
The longer we stay here, the more suspicious we look.
Of course. And I'm gonna and Korax is gonna show every courtesy. When as he leaves, he is making sure he's letting everyone know that, he's just making it clear that he enjoyed his time here. He was very impressed. Blah 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 blah.
You're able to get out and leave the temple without issue.
Yeah. Okay, so I suppose we head straight back to the Adventurers Guild?
Sure. You find your friends in the room you left them in.
Temple's haunted.
What?
Temple's haunted.
I went to the book. Apparently, Eris is a centaur, and so is her sister.
And
That wasn't a centaur.
And that was an elf, and she claimed not to have a sister.
Plus,
But she did.
Plus, there was something very. Plus, there was all kinds of wrong about her.
All kinds wrong about that entire temple. It's been desecrated badly.
Starts to laugh. This is the best story I've heard in a long time, man.
Oh, you want to go in there and see for yourself?
Oh, no, I'm taking your word for it. I'm just saying. The fact that somebody actually has the nerve to call themselves a sun goddess when we actually know who the real sun goddesses are, oh my goodness, what a great tale of fiction.
What if she is in fact a goddess of not the sun, but a sun?
Well, I used what was left of my special senses that hadn't been deadened by all the corruption in that temple, and she's a celestial of some kind.
I mean, you heard her. She said she could stop the black sun.
And she
What if
claimed
she's
that
the-
she could prove it.
But what if she's the one causing it?
Then she's out of our league at this moment.
Are you certain? Chiswell says with a bit of a smirk. The fact is that she may be a celestial, but perhaps not a goddess. Doesn't make her all that powerful.
And if she is that powerful, then why would she be buying poisons?
Or killing an Owlery's guards, for that matter.
My source did say that apparently she's the ex. Perhaps, as Miss Cicada said here, wanting revenge. That's not very godly of her, is it now?
Well,
All right,
No,
I've
murder-
prepared.
she knows our faces now. So maybe we try the other half. Jezebel,
So, real quick.
go find the son. Ask him about his mother.
So, real quick. I've got a picture. Just to help you guys get a visual. Just imagine this with... Okay, it's just going to freeze on me. There we go. So, imagine this, but with, a head of hair.
Oh.
Oh
To give you an
gosh.
idea.
I wasn't there. So did they actually see it? Were they actually black?
Yep.
I take it she was wearing different clothes as well.
Yeah. This is just something I quickly got just to give you guys a visual.
Okay.
Starts to laugh again. A celestial may look like those, and they're fine. Definitely
You're fading out again.
Great work of fiction. She's basically laughing and says, a celestial that has wings like those, and they're believing what she says. This is definitely a great work of fiction. Bravo.
Hmm.
Anyway,
See?
what was that request again, Corax?
And the son who's been left in charge of the Owlery. Go ask him some polite questions about his mother, would you?
I haven't even taken them on a date yet. How can I suddenly just ask him about his mother?
Well, then take him on a date.
Oh my god.
Really?
Sure, why not?
Ooh. Can I take someone? Can we go on a double date?
Huh?
If you can find someone.
Hey, Ryu.
That wouldn't be a good idea.
Oh.
She knows our faces, so we need to. So we need to lay low for a bit.
And if what Clara's mom said about my features being exclusive to my family, then she knows what I am.
Hmm.
Oh, so it falls on little old me then, does it? Well, if I have to go take somebody on a date to help us out, then I might as well
You
make
don't
the sacrifice.
have to go alone.
No offense, dear Cora, but if I need your help, I definitely. I mean, you're welcome to follow me if you like. Just please do not be seen.
I'll
Poor
let you go by
Herd.
yourself then.
Well, so you have to take them on a date instead, and I'll follow you. Because technically speaking, no offense, dear, I might be a little bit better at sneaking around than you are.
Okay, then why don't I do it and then you follow? Sound good? She puts out her hand.
You sure you could do this, Cora?
I've flirted with plenty of men in my life before.
And so have I. But very well, this should be interesting, she says with a grin, and then she looks over to Corax. Do you have any other suggestions?
And just be your Just be your flirty self and try and squeeze him for all the information you can, and without him ever realizing you're asking questions.
There you go.
Excellent.
Friendly advice. And of course, if you don't get it, I can try my hand out too. And if not, Cicada can go next.
So, you head over to where the guy is quietly working away with this serious expression. What do you do?
Cora walks up to him and says, hello, what was his name?
Roar.
Oral.
Or, would you like to go on a date at some point in time?
Roll persuasion.
Or at least I'm assuming this is the way that you would go about it.
He is the only one here
Oh,
watching it.
With a +7.
you have failed bards everywhere, Cora.
He looks over to you and then he says,
7.
Is this about the murders?
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to take me on a date if you've got questions. I want
Yeah.
people to not die as much as you do, you know.
She pauses for a moment and says, oh, okay, I guess that makes sense.
Also, give yourself away.
Well, to be fair, I haven't done a charismatic character before, so do you guys have suggestions of what?
If you really want
correct
to
reaction?
date, then yes, we can have one, but I am at work until like 6.
Okay. Would you be okay if I... Actually, he did say he was okay with her asking questions.
Mm-hmm.
So... She thinks for a bit and she says,
Ask him about his family life.
okay,
You guys can't
Maybe-
really give him advice. He's got to do this himself.
I know. Just you guys just learn the experience. You can do it.
Thought
Okay,
Jezebel.
so she like just stands while he's working and says like so how's the family like anyway?
Well, my parents got divorced. I just broke up with my girlfriend, and she took the kid.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
sad. Okay. She's like, okay, would you be okay with telling me about your mom?
There's not much to say. She's an elf. She's always more dedicated to her church thing than the family. The relation. My father always used to say that she wasn't in the relationship for the relationship, but for the influence.
Interesting. Okay. Trying to think of what other questions I might need to ask.
What about the dad?
You can't help him.
I am failing all bards everywhere. I'm sorry.
It's just practice.
Okay, so she also Oh yeah. She asks, do you happen to know anything about what she does in the temple?
Not really. I was never really allowed in there.
Interesting.
I do know, that, she didn't used to have those wings, like, at least when she was dating my dad and all that. He used to think my wife I used to think my wife had wings too, because she was such an angelic person. Nope. She just took
Aw.
the kid. Now I'll never see them again.
He's so sad.
Whoa.
Okay, I think that's good enough. I will leave you to your work, and she just like awkwardly walks away.
See,
That's
So
mean. I would at least comfort him. Jeez.
So, did we have any eyes whatsoever on that?
I'm assuming you guys were hiding in a bush watching.
So
I was about 30 feet away.
Korax is face palming so hard.
Spell is slightly pouting, and she goes, "Could I go give him a hug? He really needs a hug."
Yeah, you do that. I'm going to go disguise myself as a guard.
I immediately jump out of the bush, and I go over to him, and I go, "Oh, you poor dear, come here," and I give him a hug.
He returns the hug and he says,
Clara joins in on the hug too.
I just want to know
You-
my little baby
Well,
boy
now
is
you
okay.
hug him.
You know,
Oh.
not even a
Where's
letter.
my glass cannon?
I just want to know.
Just need to point her in the right direction.
Jezebel lightly smacks her and then just starts to pet his head. She goes, there, dude, let it all out. It's alright.
So Clara's whispering actually snaps him out and he pushes you both away and he says, I gotta get back to work. And he heads on his way.
Jezebel gives Clara a small frown. Well done, dear.
Got the information we want, right?
Yes, but have some
just so you know, that
sympathy.
comment about the charisma glass cannon, that was out of character.
Regardless, you kept interrupting me while I was trying to talk. So,
Sorry.
what are you guys gonna do now?
Oh boy.
Just wants to do
Yeah.
the original plan.
So, guards are being killed late at night. One at a time every night. Or
What?
isn't there at night. Taking the place of his father, possibly celestial in origin, possibly ASMR, who knows. And the guards are stabbed with possibly poison daggers. Of an possibly new kind of poison. And everyone believes that this female elf called Eris is responsible, and she is celestial, but not kind of super pretty.
Well, nobody
Super-
thinks.
No, she is supposed to be pretty. I don't know why they made them bold in the picture, but they're supposed to be beautiful.
I think
They
that's a
are
picture.
very.
I think the picture you had was a picture of Zariel.
Regardless,
Anyway,
pretend they're pretty.
yeah, they are pretty, but not in the kind of pure, angelic kind of pretty.
The thing is
Not
also
quite pure,
is
not quite angelic.
that
but-
my source said that she is buying the potion, but technically speaking, it may not also be her actually stabbing the person either. Now that we know that she's in the temple, she could be sending one of her followers to do the killings for her.
That is true.
And if that's the case, then I say we stick with the plan, have Korax disguise as the guard, and catch whoever's in the act. Do some questioning.
Okay.
Okay, sounds fair enough.
Sound all right with you two?
She nods. Yeah, I keep
Mostly-
forgetting Cicada can turn invisible for an hour.
I'm mostly also talking to Korax and Ryu.
Well, if we do catch, if it is one of her followers and we catch them, there's no chance of them exposing Korax and I to her.
we'll try to remain hidden and have Korax just stand guard for a bit, see if we catch somebody. Although you're not very good at being stealthy, so let's see if we can fix that.
Silver hair. It's kind of error in the and this tail kind of going to be hard to hide in the dark.
I was mostly talking about your armor, but that too.
I also have Veil of Dusk.
Whatever we have to do. These murders do need to stop.
Problem is, Veil of Dusk is also a concentration spell, and I can't concentrate on that and invisibility at the same time.
Oh, here you all are. You see the window open and bring in all the bright sunlight as your little rogue contact smiles brightly at all of you.
Bertrand, I was just about to go try to find you. Come in and close the window, please.
Oh, well, I mean, I suppose this is a dark, shadowy meeting. And he closes the windows and does the blinds back up and he says, I got information about that person of interest you wanted me to find, Jezebel.
Here now. He grins brightly.
So, and he pauses a bit as if he's not sure how to best put this. They're in the Temple of the Sun.
We knew that.
Korax and I kind of figured that out ourselves at great personal risk, thanks.
No, not the woman. The silver-haired elf.
They're in the temple, are they?
Gentlemen.
Jezebel says with her eyes narrowed and she smiles.
Well, before you think about getting revenge on him, my mom actually said that the receptionist failed to give us the information. So the probably was actually, we probably should have gotten it, but she didn't give it to us. And
Which is why I
she
have
was
Bertrand
made
here.
not to.
Which is why I asked Bertrand here to do a personal favor for me. Well, not exactly a favor. Well, no, yeah, this counts as a favor, doesn't it, dear?
The weird thing is, you see, they were tied up.
Oh. Literally?
Jezebel narrows her eyes again, and then she goes, "Thank you, Bertrand. You definitely earned your coin."
I always do.
Now then, now that you're here, and thank you for that, by the way, she says with a grin, she goes, "We actually have an idea that we're going to do real quickly. Well, just to let you know now, we are going to take the second buyer.
Very
not
well.
the one here in the city."
I shall let them know, and they should expect you, and I will get you details of how to contact them to you before you leave the city. And with that, he backflips out the window, and it closes behind him with a little bit of mage hand.
We're on the 3rd story.
Oh, don't worry about him. He'll be fine.
There's a loud crash.
I look out the window to see if he's all right.
He's fine. He tried to Assassin's Creed.
Into a hay bale.
See? I told you. Jezebel just grins, and then she gives a big sigh. She goes, "Well, dears, as much as this plan is going off, I'm afraid," she gives a big old grin, "I might have to break into the temple."
What?
You're going to try to sneak right under a goddess's nose.
We don't know. We're not sure if she's a goddess.
That temple is heavily desecrated.
Indeed, but there's something in there I have to look for.
What could you possibly need to find in there?
Didn't you hear what Bertrand said?
Huh?
The gentleman.
I must have really spaced out.
The silver-haired
Um,
elf. I'm afraid that well, it's kind of a personal thing, so to say. I don't want to say much because we are also doing another job at the moment. Call this a side job that I do personally. I don't doubt Bertrad's information. And if what he said, of course, is true, I'm afraid I may not have much of a choice. But, of course, we are a group, and I do want to help with the situation. So, I will gladly do this job first. Depending on what happens, I'll have to go into that temple.
Okay.
And I will not be able to leave this city until I get that elf. Just so you know.
Fair enough.
No killing, please.
She may not have a choice.
Unfortunately, dear Cicada, Ryu is right. For once, I did not call you Foxy. Keep that in mind. That's how serious I am.
So,
Anyway.
You seriously don't sound, you certainly don't sound serious, but on account of you do saying my name, in fact, you did, in fact, say my name, I'll take your word for it just this once.
Which one call you Foxy?
No, as a matter of fact, I hate that name.
Then I'm doing my job. Anyway, she claps her hands together. Shall we get started?
Sure.
So, is there anything any of you want to do before we wrap this session up?
I think we're good.
Alright.
Though, there is my patron still.
I am dropping this in chat for the others to read.
Okay.
So, what do you mean about your patrons, Cicada?
It's like, well, just if there is time to actually contact them and ask them about Eris.
Alright. So, you asked your party if they can wait for a bit, and you cross your legs and thank you, Ka. You cross your legs and bring your arms together as you grip your staff and close your eyes, letting yourself be carried away in the darkness, on the darkness. And then you ask your question, which is,
Who is Eris? Really?
you hear no answer for a little bit, as the darkness swirls and echoes around you. To everyone else, you are just sitting there and meditating. But then you hear a voice. The same voice you have always been able to use to speak if you so wished it. Echo out towards you and say two simple words. False God.
Okay.
You open your eyes.
So, did you learn anything?
Eris is a false god.
We already knew that.
And this is her entirely different voice.
And like Korax just says, okay, we already knew that. Give us some new information.
Yeah.
There was none of
think
the usual pauses in her voice either, as if she was speaking like normally instead of in the Kenku way of mimicking. You do
And
not
it sounds
recognize the
deeper
voice.
than usual. It does sound deeper than usual.
I think what she's trying to tell us is that this Eris isn't as powerful as we think she is.
Well, that makes me feel better. Jezebel says, even though she's eyeing Cicada curiously at the different voice.
Don't take my word for it. We don't know for sure.
Well, that's how we're finding out.
She kind of
And-
blinks and is a little surprised that people are just taking this in stride all of a sudden. Like, she
One
just
thing-
used her patron's voice instead of her own, and this is weird. How people aren't giving her negative reactions all of a sudden.
All right, Jezebel,
Jezebel likes Cicada.
Jezebel, you wanted to say something?
She's curious, that's for sure, and she's keeping it in the back of her mind, but priorities.
All right.
She will ask Cicada about this later, but right now, one thing at a time.
Then with that, our session is concluded. I hope you all have fun, and we will see you all next week. Bye-bye.
Goodbye!
Goodbye.
Bye.